what they're bringing to the table, but we're certainly excited to see it as we are moving into our first group stage match of the day will be on Split. And as we move on into the agent selection here, we wait with bated breath to figure out what will be picked up by these players. Definitely, as one player we touched on earlier is Anderson. I will be interested to see what Anderson picks up. I think Anderson really sticking to controller characters, so I definitely expect to see the Killjoy coming over for the side of Slimy Boogerman. Lazarus getting us started off. Soar locking in the Jet. No surprises there.
Yeah, pretty standard there, and I'm excited to see what else these teams will bring out. I think that Split's a map, especially after the changes, where you can find a lot of different agents with great success. We've seen like the skies or your breaches find a lot more space on this map as well. I doubt we'll see it today because we are in North America, but I feel like Viper is really powerful here. But we will have to see. Everyone's still just kind of waiting around to figure out who we're going to pick into. I think we just can't see it, but they
Yeah.
have chosen who they're going for. So I guess it's a mystery as we'll find out in a moment. And there is a Sky pick
Yes,
and a
there.
Breach pick. I'm very excited about this lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. Teams looking to take some risks earlier on here in the group stage, and we are getting right into it here on Split. And as we take a look at this beautifully set map, I do want to let you know about the Red Bull Campus Clutch Tournament coming up. Global 5v5 Valorant tournament open to university students in over 50 countries. This competition challenges players of all skill levels team up, represent their campus, can be on the world stage to make history for your university and country. Be sure to head to redbullcampusclutch.com. Sign your team up now. We are getting right into it here on Split. It is Slimy Boogerman up against Lazarus. Lazarus starting out on defense.
Yeah, starting off on this defensive side, early on we see a Cypher setup over towards A, and they will have the triple lean here for the side of the Slimy Boogerman. They look to be hitting us off with just a bit of a default, looking for some space. One thing I'm surprised by, though, from Lazarus is that they don't really have many set up towards mid, but from J Park, this is quick up towards ramp.
J Park wasting no time getting right into Lazarus's real estate. Lazarus have dug their heels in here on the A site, and they're going to trade some warning shots with Welshi on that sky. Really exciting to see how that's going to be used on this map. But Slimy Boogerman not rushing out, not sending out any punches here. 30 seconds off the clock. Slimy Boogerman trying to find the first advantage as they start to group up towards A.
Yeah, that early utility will net them space towards A. We'll see that the side of Lazarus, they're a little apprehensive to rotate here early on. That dog will initiate, reveal the position of the Rays, and that should be the hallmark to find up. Mikado, he's stuck. He's completely blind. No opportunity. J Park from the ramp finds one, and it's currently a mop-up for the Boogerman. Now just two remaining on this work back in.
Slimy Boogerman already showing Lazarus that they have a bit of catching up to do here in this first round. 2v5 for the remaining defenders of Lazarus. Not much in it, unfortunately, for Lazarus. And so, Slimy Boogerman very much back to their old winning ways early on here. Xenos gets the kill onto Welshi, but Instinct J Park combined for 2 quick kills, cleaning up the scene for Slimy Boogerman on attack here on Split. So far, Lazarus, looking at this team composition, does look like it would be a more attacking side favored composition. You're wanting that breach to really lead the charge. That opportunity may not be available so much for Lazarus here, so it'll be interesting to see how they adapt their composition to the CT side.
Yeah, in that last one, we saw the kind of early position taken towards ramps. That was courtesy of J Park with the Skybird to initiate him up there. And he had that space, which just kind of cut off any rotation into heaven. So it was a pretty easy mop-up for the boys in the Slimy Boogerman. But Soros, he's trying to get aggressive for some information, maybe a frag. This team will try and follow up, but the superior firepower of the Slimy Boogerman is right now just making quick work of these players as suddenly it's left to one.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what we wanted to see from Lazarus in this situation. You've got to get right up in the face of the Slimy Boogerman, no matter how mucusy it may be. Dev takes down the rival Omen there of Xenos. So Lazarus taking a bit of a risk with that save round. Unfortunately, a risk not paying dividends this time around. But now, Lazarus with a real chance to show us what they're made of. It is that full buy coming in. Only one set of light armor for them, so stacking up fairly well. well up against Slimy Boogerman, who you see J Park once again holding on to that Bucky. Saw Dev make a big impact with that early on in that second round. See if it makes a play here in the third. Slimy Boogerman, for the first time in this half, turning their sights over to B side.
Yeah, just one player holding close on site. It's going to be Soar to be tested here. They've switched up again, this time 2 towards mid for the defense, but that utility will initiate out, and Soar's going to be called upon here. Good for 1, but a trade through by Reality into this 4-on-4. Soar peeks out, another frag to be found, a third opportunity, but he can't muster Dev on that trade, but the utility is still good for frags. Mikado finds 2. Now, it's on to the Sky of Welshi. He has the spike, so we can try and rotate here, Delay, but it's going to be tough in the 1v3.
That's exactly what we wanted to see from Lazarus there, sticking it on B side, holding firm there and not giving up a single inch to the side of Slimy Boogerman. We'll see if Welshi has any heroics ready for us. Does have that full set of armor as well as a heal ready to go, but that heal will not be available to Welshi. Mikado takes down Welshi for the triple kill, one of those kills being picked up by the Roomba. And as it is one of the first times, surprisingly, despite this character being out for so long, this is one of the first few times we're seeing Sky here in this event. Sometimes I almost forget this character exists. So exciting to see Welshi leading the way there with Sky here on Split.
Yeah, and that Sky pick also, just that it's similar to Phoenix in that it's just the 6 points to get that ult up. We see Welshi's already up to 5, so he can kind of keep farming, get the information with the Seekers, but as it stands, we're in a bit of a tech pause before we hop into round 4. And maybe taking a quick break here will be good, because this 4th round, it's important. It's going to set that kind of economic precedent to start off this first half.
Absolutely. The implications are looming over both sides here for this 4th round coming up. It does look like we are getting everyone back sorted, mopping up any drinks spilled on keyboards, picking up any cats off of routers. I may have got them mixed up there, but we understand that the clock is ticking back down. Lazarus got themselves on the board early on, an important step to get against such a storied team like the Slimy Boogerman, playing with such the solid roster that's already had success with this Slimy Boogerman name. Already looking for one more win here today in the Valorant Sunday Showdown. Their first obstacle here in the form of Lazarus. J Park pushing forward, takes big damage, has to dash on over to ropes, finds a tripwire for their trouble. J Park back into heaven, loses out to town. Lazarus get themselves an early advantage. Instinct trying to claw it back, loses out to Xenos. Now Lazarus with a quick 2 kills onto Slimy Boogerman with the advantage once more. And we said the implications for this 4th round were going to be massive. So far, the implications look dire for Slimy Boogerman.
Yeah, that Soul Cypher towards A doing a lot of work with his utility. It allowed for this B stack, and they walked into it completely unsuspecting. Now, the eyes of the Boogerman set towards mid. Currently, there's no one here to find this information, but if they trundle into heaven or over towards A heaven either, they're going to be met with at least one player and at least that information given over. Soar on the jiggle, and they will find vents as the destination, but this might be a great timing for them, Dilly. That Cypher's fallen away. It's a matter of when they cross this cam.
Slimy Boogerman with an excellent understanding of the pressure points available for them to try and strike this defense. Here comes the push, but Mikado, ready and waiting, picks up a double kill, and that very well may have sealed the fate for the Slimy Boogerman in the 4th round. We are tied up 2 rounds apiece. The new kids on the block, Lazarus, here get themselves on equal footing with the old wise Slimy Boogerman on attack. Now, Slimy Boogerman, 3 ultimates ready to go here for this 5th round, and they are 3 big ultimates, especially that Blade Storm for J Park. Very well could flip the script here for Slimy Boogerman in the 5th.
Yeah, they're going to need to fashion themselves a hero. They do still have a pretty good buy here. Last round, I liked what we saw from Xenos there. He went for kind of that aggro TP into the pocket, and he was kind of baited in for, found an early frag there, and being the Omen, he could just TP out, find himself more opportunities, and keep Lazarus fully in control of that round. They're not giving away anything against this default of the Slimy Boogerman.
Really smart stuff from Lazarus thus far here on the defending side. Slimy Boogerman will try with a big wombo combo to try to get them unstuck. Here comes the execute out of B site. Kolb's full blinded, sends out a flash of their own, but gets a Roomba right in the face. Here comes Mikado though with the showstopper, finds early damage there. J Park pushes forward off the back of that, spots out just a bit of the defenders there and decides that is not the play. And so the lockdown having gone out for Slimy Boogerman to nearly no effect. We'll see if the Seekers have any more impact here for Slimy Boogerman as they push forward up onto heaven. J Park with that Blade Storm. We said J Park had to be the hero so far. Picking up the first. Can they find the second? No. Kolb's picks up the double kill. Mikado cleaning up Dev, and so quickly Lazarus sealing the fate of the Slimy Boogerman in that 5th round, moving us on into the 6th.
Yeah, good attempt there from J Park. He tried something, but Kolb's is holding down that B site very efficiently. He knows when to get aggressive, he knows how to play passive, and he's setting his team up for success with those flashes when it does come down to a heaven execute. But looking a little earlier in that round, I think Mikado set them in the right direction with that showstopper. He completely nullified that Killjoy lockdown, deleted such a powerful ultimate from play, and was one of the big reasons that the Slimy Boogermen were forced into a bad situation that was, well, quite easy for Lazarus to mop up.
Lazarus sticking to the game plan here. Kolb still holding down the same angle on B site, and it's worked to great effect. Will it work once more? Yes, Kolb picks up yet another multi-kill in just as many rounds. A double kill for Kolb there, absolutely getting the job done. But here comes the response from Slimy Boogerman. The spike is down. Dev knocking down the defenders of Lazarus. Can Town find a bit of revenge here pushing forward? Yes, Town picks up the double kill. Now a 2v1 favoring the defenders. Town pushing forward, finds Welshi, takes him down for the triple kill. That is Lazarus picking up their 4th round in a row.
Kolb's on that defense there. He did so much for his team. Even though he died, he was good for 2. He kind of put them in a very tough spot to be in. The retake was in quickly, and they found all the necessary frags. I love that from Town. As soon as he realized that they were in a bad spot, that they were at the disadvantage here, he knew that it was time to make the play. He went for it, he found those frags, and now this is 4 rounds on the trot for Lazarus. They're setting themselves in a great direction with this momentum early on here on Split.
Absolutely. If Slimy Boogerman have something to say, now is the time to say it. One of their full buys here, but there are few full buys remaining for them in this half. If things keep going this way, and this aggression from Lazarus continuing to inflict the pain, but reality has dealt with it before losing out to Mikado. So kills going 2 for 2 from that really aggressive Lazarus push, mixing up the pace on the Slimy Boogerman, throwing a wrench in their plans, and now Welshi has a bit of work to do to get that spike back in their hands. Does pick it up, and now the advance from Slimy Boogerman out onto B site will be stunted once again from the defense from Lazarus. Here comes the execute. Instinct with that showstopper looking for a target, but it's going to be Town taking out Dev and dodging the showstopper. Instinct wins out over Town, finds the revenge kill now in a 2v2, but Slimy Boogerman once again pulling away from the B site.
Yeah, there's still a minute left here, Dilly, and I feel like they used that Rolling Thunder a bit too soon. They thought, okay, this is it, this is the committal, but they were still far enough away that they'll take that fair trade back into the 2v2, and it will be a fairly safe spike plant to hold on to in the post plant here for the Boogerman.
Now Lazarus really have their work cut out for them if they want to keep this streak going. But what a streak it would be if they can keep it rolling. It would have such a big impact on the rest of this half here. Here it comes. Kolb's. It's been so good the last few rounds, finding big opportunistic multi-kills for the side of Lazarus. Can they come up big once more? Here comes the push, the flash in the face of Mikado, the responding flash, Welshi around the corner. Oh, it's an excellent double peek from the Slimy Boogerman. That is the retake dealt with by the attackers. That is the economy settled for Slimy Boogerman. Now they can really start to build some momentum once more.
That is absolutely the round they needed. That shut down any momentum. If it had continued to spiral out of their control, very well could have been a sweep in this first half, but now they'll keep themselves going strong. And what I loved about them was that they didn't overcommit. They fought early on towards A. They were like, all right, we have fair trades. They went over towards B, continued the fair trade game. And when you're just going 1-for-1, that's always going to be advantageous to these attackers. And the Boogermen do great in those situations where they have the advantage. Now Zeno, he's trying to go for this play again, and he might just be presented the back. He will. That's J Park down, trying to get a second. But Reality on the trade back. It's also a lockdown they can use to get into this B site, Dilly.
Oh, but that is Kolb sniping down Reality. The lockdown still, I was going to say the lockdown's still rolling, but it does get taken out, I believe, by the paint shells of Mikado. So really smartly dealt with once more from Lazarus. Slimy Boogerman still trying to commit to the site. Instinct, oh my goodness, with the 90-degree flick, picks up the double kill. Soar finds the revenge there, and now a 2v2, make it a 2v1. Soar picks up the double kill. Dev, 21 HP remaining, can't win that peak. Soar picks up the triple kill, and Lazarus expertly diffused the entire situation, the entire game plan from Slimy Boogerman. There was simply nothing in it for the Slimy Boogerman. Every single thing they tried in that round was just thrown right back in their face by Lazarus.
Yeah, that was the second time they've attempted that Killjoy lockdown in the same position. And both times it's just been utility to shut it down. They also lost Reality to that Aftershock very early on. So they were in a situation where they were kind of forced to decide. It's the only chance, the only space they were given. There's always Soar there, waiting. Good for his 3 frags. Now the situation looking a little bit tougher for the side of the Boogerman.
Yeah, Slimy Boogerman on the eco round, rushing through mid-corridor. They will find the trade kill there. J-Park may be able to get a gun upgrade for the kill as well. Now Slimy Boogerman slowing their roll just a bit, feeling out this heaven corridor. They still want a piece of this B site. Right around the corner is Kolb's. Oh, Kolb's. Rarely for Kolb's won't be able to find the kill. Slimy Boogerman, though, that's enough for them to rethink their decisions. Head on over towards the A site with the help of the Seekers. Town finds the Seeker meant for them, and here comes the push. Reality takes down Town, but it's an excellent coordinated team effort here from Slimy Boogerman, making the most of these weakened guns. But here come Lazarus on the return, sending out the showstopper is Mikado. Now just Instinct and Reality. Low HP on Reality. Can Slimy Boogerman, with just 40 seconds remaining, find a miracle here in this 2v3?
Yeah, they're starting this rotation, but it seems telegraphed. Xenos will hear those footsteps, but he doesn't have to engage. He can still play passive, wait to see if more are to come. And Killjoy still lurking out in mid. Xenos hears that spike being initiated, and he'll try and look for an early fight here. The question is, when will Killjoy come around the corner? 3 defenders, all from heaven. Instinct finds one. The showstopper now up, looking for a frag. He'll find it. Now just one left in hell, and the flank from Reality comes through well. That's a thrifty round to find 4 for the Boogerman, Dilly.
I asked if Boogerman could find a miracle in that 2v3, and a miracle is exactly what they delivered. I can't believe it. That is simply not a round the Slimy Boogerman should have been able to get away with, were it not for the genius of Instinct using the showstopper, getting that kill off of the peak as well. So good from Instinct, and simply no answers for Lazarus in that situation. And so Slimy Boogerman in a round they simply had no business picking up. Now pick up a round and pick themselves up a decent chunk of change as well. So Lazarus with the opportunity to respond. 3 ultimates in the pocket here. J-Park, though, looking to inflict the damage early on, dashes forward onto site.
Yeah, now this is a 5-on-5. This is again a retake. Lazarus, they give a lot of space, but now it comes the time to fight. Town for the first one. That's a retake of the control towards the back of screens, and now they have advantage here. The one advantage for the Boogerman is the time. Trying to take a fight is Instinct, but he's getting flushed out by utility. The blinds are coming in, and so are the frags. Bladestorm not going to do it, but the Judge sure will. Soar for 2 on the site. And now the remaining player, it's Welshi up in heaven. Very little HP. It's not directly planted for him. However, swarm grenades will dispel the threat for a moment here. Now, 1 frag found. It's still Mikado up top to find Reality. It's left just in the sky. Has to peek out, has to take the fight, and the defuse comes through.
Oh my goodness, these teams are holding nothing back. I can almost not believe that this is simply just a group stage match. This has the quality of a big stage match. This is so cool to see. Lazarus picking up the momentum right back from Slimy Boogerman. That is a moment where a lot of teams may have faltered, dropping that thrifty round, letting Slimy Boogerman pick the economy right back up. That could have been a moment of weakness for Lazarus, but no, they found the inspiration once more. Soar found the up and over, the verticality to pick up those judge kills, and now Lazarus once again in the driver's seat, and once again it's up to J-Park on the side of Slimy Boogerman. Try and find find a bit of ground here for the attacking side, but Soar already making themselves a nuisance. Won't have any damage onto J Park, but J Park still able to advance with this Blade Storm forward.
Yeah, up into heaven here. We'll have the first opportunity. The blinds are through, but so is the Bucky from Dev. Good for one. That's a gun now set loose for the Boogerman. Soar, he's still hiding in this dark cover. When it disappears, he'll have a chance at a shot, but Kolbs is going to be in a tight spot on site. He has to fight here. Has to find some frags, but now he has support from the Omen. Great paranoia to stop that main push, but Soar is still looking for some action up in heaven. Reality out main. The push starts to come through, but he doesn't know there's someone in close. It's Dev with the Bucky and the Boogerman. Again, this is just a thrifty round, Dilly, and they've brought this to their advantage.
My eyes are down.
Oh my goodness, I simply don't know what to expect anymore, Town. With only 11 HP remaining on the triple kill. Oh, and the flick was almost just right for Town, but it's Reality capping the triple kill, picking up a big round for the Slimy Boogerman. And this is a half that we have said that could have gone either way at any point. This could have been a half that Lazarus could have dominated. There were potential for Lazarus to simply run away with it. And there was times where Slimy Boogerman could have stolen that momentum right back, but instead they are just trading haymakers back and forth, these two teams. Now, as we move into the final round of the half, Slimy Boogerman with their third lockdown of the half available, but this lockdown has not had a single impact in this match whatsoever. Will that change here onto A side as Town forced to back away from that flash as the execute coming out so quickly. Instinct takes down Town. Slimy Boogerman very, very quickly find themselves in a 5v4.
Yeah, great position to be in. The one X factor for Lazarus is this Rolling Thunder. When will they use it, and how will it be employed? Soar, he still has just a judge, so it's going to be tough on the work back in, but it went well for him in the last one. The Rolling Thunder and the Killjoy lockdown initiated, so this is the cue to go quickly. Blinds up, and so is the judge. Almost for two, not quite though. Xenos trades back, and it's back and forth into a 2v2. And now the Boogerman, they have to hold strong Xenos for 3, but it's Dev to close out, clutch it up with a double. We're tied up at the half.
Dev with 10 HP remaining, somehow surviving by the skin of his teeth. Goodness gracious, Slimy Boogerman bring us into 6-6 in the most momentous way possible, certainly setting the stage for a big second half. But this is something now that we touched on when this game got started. The agent composition favors the second half for both of these teams. Slimy Boogerman with that Killjoy. Look at Reality already setting up shop on a site. That is going to be a lot for Lazarus to work through, especially in this pistol round. But for the side of Lazarus, they have that breach ready to go, sending in those flashpoints, forcing Slimy Boogerman off of their defensive positions, or at least that's what Lazarus hope here is now. We are in the second half. Lazarus doing very well to get themselves on equal footing with the legendary Slimy Boogerman. Can they correlate this successful first half into a successful second half? Mikado picking up that alt orb. So good with the showstopper was Mikado in the first, already working their way.
Look at the setup though. There's a paranoia ready from behind that box. If they push through the dark cover, J Park's in a position where he'll have 2 free blinded kills, but they won't fall for it quite yet. I want to see how they're going to use this breach, because he has 10 assists. He's had so much impact thus far, but how will this transfer onto the attack half? The flasher of the defense up in heaven lets one out, and Instinct is forced to fall away. And it's still a 5-on-5, but there's a lot of space going the way of Lazarus.
Oh, Lazarus, though, taking the worst bit of the damage here so far. They will commit to this B side, but it's J Park picking up the first kill and Dev picking up the second. Slimy Boogerman not falling for any of the tricks of Lazarus. All of the attackers falling all around the map. Just Town now as Reality takes them down in that back corridor. And so, Slimy Boogerman pick themselves up the second pistol round. 2 for 2 in pistol rounds this game are the Slimy Boogerman. And that is exactly what the CT-sided agent composition would have wanted to get themselves started.
Yeah, the Boogerman, they've been not only really good at these pistol rounds, but what they're great at on these early rounds is just getting chip damage early on. Oftentimes it's spamming through the smoke or a little bit of damage from utility, but it feels like every time Lazarus wants to commit, they're already wounded, they're already bleeding, and then it's just a matter of mopping it up for the Boogerman, and 2 times now. They've done it quite easily. The question is, can they continue the trend of converting a round that they really should be winning.
Well, Lazarus looking to force the issue here. Soar wasting no time pushing up A-ramp. Here comes the conflict. Reality winning out somehow over Soar. Welshi there to get their back, takes down Town, and now Slimy Boogerman really pushing forward with vigor. J-Park takes down Xenos with the Bucky. Welshi once again has the teammates back, picks up the double kill for Welshi. Instinct closes off the round with a stylish set of paint shells. Slimy Boogerman make it 2 in a row, make it 4 in a row, carrying over from the first half. So serious momentum for the side of Slimy Boogerman. And once again, we find ourselves in this fated third round. Lazarus, they did very well this time around in the first half. Their first full buy was a very successful full buy. Can they find that same success here on the attacking side?
Yeah, that's a big question still in this one. The Slimy Boogerman, they have had so much utility usage that has gone so well for them. We see the Skybirds, and that's like the main thing. But I think the use of the dog for them is also really strong. They've managed to concuss players, give lots of free kills over. Now, utility's not going to quell this push. It's in quick for Lazarus, but I guess I'm wrong. There's a nade frag, a reply though by Soar, and the Bucky of Dev still good. 2v2 now here. Have to work back in. One spotted out, but Mikado wins it. Now Reality, just a ghost in his full armor. He'll be able to upgrade into a weapon, but it's going to be a challenge.
Some of these moments, it feels so unreasonable, but you almost think Slimy Boogerman have an advantage when they have the worst firepower. And of course, that's not the case, but they play so well with these weaker guns that they try to convince you otherwise. And now Reality trying to put these remaining 2 attackers turned defenders into a tough spot. Oh, picks up the Vandal. Now Reality finding the damage will be forced away by the paint shells as the clock ticks down. I don't know if there is a play in it here for Reality now. Simply no time remaining. Reality, though, finds the first kill. Xenos, though, prevents the second. And Lazarus, once again, with a very successful third round after having dropped the opening 2 rounds of the half.
It was successful in round count, but what did they really gain from that? One thing is sure, they didn't gain a lot of economy. Look at what this has done to them, Dilly. They're crippled. Players are down on a save, even though they just won that round. The Boogerman played that so perfectly, and yeah, sure, they didn't win the round, but they got every single player to die. No gun will be held through, and the Boogerman now, they have a great buy. They were even considering an op-up. They're feeling good, and that's so well played from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Expert stuff from the side of Slimy Boogerman. Truly inflicting the pain across all aspects of the match. And now Slimy Boogerman, they force Lazarus to once more push up so aggressively, wasting no time. Oh, but that was almost nearly a very big Roomba, but now is just a very big death happening here towards Ropes. Slimy Boogerman mowing down the members of Lazarus. So Lazarus not finding the same magic, if you will, in those thrifty rounds that Slimy Boogerman have been able to put together.
Yeah, that was just stand and deliver, 2 with rifles in the vents to spray down everyone involved. And I think that Lazarus here, this is a really big round for them. If they lose this one, it's up to double digits for the Boogerman. It's down to an eco for them, so this is one they absolutely need here. I'd love to see them maybe try and take this slower, either do a mid play or just play more of a default. The default does look to be what they're indicating. J-Park, though, has this Blade Storm ready.
J-Park has been able to find 1 or 2 kills, usually per Blade Storm. Nothing groundbreaking quite yet. We'll see if that changes here in the 17th round. Oh, this is a dangerous position, and J-Park looks to seize the opportunity, but it's only going to be Instinct picking up the kill with the showstopper. It's Soar picking up a double kill for themselves. Dev now finding the revenge, takes down Soar. Oh, takes down Mikado, snipes down the showstopper. The show effectively stopped. Welshi now picks up the kill onto Town, leaving just Kolbs. Kolbs has been so good for multi-kills earlier in this match, but this would be a multi-kill they have to find all on their own. They will be able to stomp their way on over to B-side now. And now Kolbs with a bit of a difficult task to try and read these remaining 2 defenders.
Yeah, he has no utility to work with. All of his flashpoints gone, just the recharge on that one ability, and he's going to have to take things slow here, try and find an early pick, but they will use the Seekers just to find this one man. His position Now given away, and the birds start to come in. He's blinded, but recovers his sight in time to see one, looking for a fight, and he gets it in the double! Kolbs, how does he pull that off?
Oh my goodness, Kolbs! We said he'd been so good for multi-kills earlier in the match, and that is just yet another example for the Breach. So good has Kolbs been in these key moments, picking up the double kill. And now, despite all the momentum Slimy Boogerman had going into that round, they will be able to pick up a full buy here. Instinct on the judge. So slightly cobbled together by, but Slimy Boogerman maybe asking some questions of themselves now, because I think Slimy Boogerman were kind of shifting into final gear. They were pressing down on the throttle, looking to get to the finish line of this match. Lazarus slowing their roll just a bit. Let's see if Soar can amp up the throttle once more for the attackers, but Reality putting a wrench in those plans, takes down Xenos, and now Welshi will send out that flash as Soar snipes down Dev. So the Blade Storm already being used to great effect here for Lazarus. Now big intel coming through the source of town now. J Park, oh, so close to finding the snipe there on the corners. The retake begins for Slimy Boogerman.
Yeah, they have utility to work back in here. The dog will initiate things, but it's going to be tough with this op. Coming out now, J Park, he's taken care of, but the trade is good from Welshi. Mikado and Main, he has a great line, but Welshi, he's so ready for it. Now a 2v2, last two players. Back on site here, swing out into elbow, but Welshi, 3 in the round already. One more to find, it's Kolbs, and he almost pulls it off again, but he's shut down for Reality.
I would have very possibly thrown my headset had Kolbs picked up that double kill once again. I would have said, no, he can't keep getting away with it, but unfortunately for the side of Lazarus, he could not keep getting away with it. Slimy Boogerman instead, we've seen this movie before. They put down Kolbs, preventing any comeback heroics. Now Slimy Boogerman get themselves onto double digits despite a tumultuous journey to get there.
Yeah, it's been a tough road here, but what's great for them is they've reset Lazarus, and unlike the Boogerman, the Lazarus, I don't think they've picked up a Thrifty yet, whereas the Boogerman, it feels like no matter how dire the situation is, they're always finding opportunities, they're always finding frags. And now, it's a tough spot to be in for them, because they have to push up towards mid here.
Lazarus once again feeling the pressure building and feeling that they have to dispense some pressure of their own, pushing up, establishing a great amount of real estate up this mid corridor. We'll see where they exactly, which path they decide to take. So far, both paths kind of being scouted out by the attackers. Instinct just waiting with bated breath with those paint shells, just waiting for the right cue to send those forth. And so far, Lazarus maybe not playing as quickly as their early positioning might have suggested. As Instinct rather. It's a fair bit of damage. Let's to send out some damage of their own, but the paint shells whiff. Now Lazarus, as times takes down under 45 seconds, they've got to make a call. Will it be the B call? Dev hopes it will be. Waiting around the corner, takes the flash, forced to back away from the position. Here comes the execute here from Lazarus. Instinct pulls the trigger, takes down Soar, but the trade comes through for Lazarus. Xenos will find the kill onto Lazarus, and this is so slow from Lazarus. They're stomping their feet around. They don't have time to make these slow plays here. They march on over to A, but it may be simply too late. Reality burns town to the ground there to clean up shop, and that is Slimy Boogerman danger dealt with.
Yeah, tough little tongue twister you created for yourself. But the Boogerman, they've looked really good in these anti-ecos, because if we look back a little I'm doing it to myself now too. If we look back into the first half for Lazarus, they gave up a lot of space for free. There was a lot of map control that Slimy Boogerman were able to take care of. But when Lazarus tries that same default on their attacker side, they're just not being given space for free. There's always some utility to dispel them. There's always a paint shell or a skydog, anything to push them back out of position. And so it's really been tough for them to play it. The only success they found is on the quicker executes, where they just straight up just take aim duels and win them.
And that's not the kind of play you want to rely on if you're Lazarus, and so Here comes a more standard execute, sending out the flashes, sending out the smokes, and that is very successful, save for Reality, who's got the turret kill onto Soar. And so I said successful. They will be able to get the spike down. The lockdown now coming through for Slimy Boogerman. Will they have even needed it as well? She picks up a kill. Now Town walks right into the waiting arms of Dev Lazarus. This was a very promising play from the onset, but it is all crumpled. Oh, but can they find a bit of structure to lean on? Xenos says, not today. Reality puts down Xenos and gets Slimy Boogerman onto match point. And so Lazarus, it's always been an uphill battle, and now the hill just gets that much more steeper.
Yeah, I feel like for Lazarus, they've kind of hit a wall, like you said, at this point. They've only found 2 rounds in this half to the 6 found by the Boogerman. Now they're just 1 away. The buy they can muster together, it's okay. They have 4 rifles and they have light armor. Not too much else to write home about. They're gonna need something huge here. It's still not out of the realms of possibilities. 4 rounds that they'd have to find to take us to OT. It really does have to start here, Dilly.
Absolutely does. And so Soar looks to get the action started closely, but there are 2 willing defenders ready to greet Soar, and here comes the flash from Welshie and the push from Slimy Boogerman. The pushback to say, this is not the site you were looking for. Soar going up and over, dodging away from those paint shells. There's all kinds of onslaught going Soar's way. That is Soar losing out to J Park. Mikado trying to find an advantageous duel. Will be Lazarus getting a significant amount of territory, and that's Mikado getting 1 back for Lazarus. Can they seize the opportunity? Town takes down Reality. Lazarus with some wind in their sails yet. J Park looking to steal away the breeze. Can they find any of the kills? Instinct has the defenders back there, picks up the double kill. Now with the double satchel right around the corner. Oh, Instinct gives away J Park there to try and challenge Kolbs, and it's Kolbs once again picking up the double kill. Now it would have to be a triple kill. Welshie, full health coming in, only 34 HP remaining on Kolbs. Right around the corner is Welshie, closing it out for the Slimy Boogerman. And Lazarus, it has to be said, a very, very valiant fight. But that is the greatest triumph of all, is that Slimy Boogerman have been so, so good that they get us to say a name like Slimy Boogerman with the straightest of faces, because they are just that dangerous. There is nothing to laugh about here. It is all Slimy Boogerman. Moving on into their second match of the group stage here today.
Yeah, and I think what makes it extra impressive about the Boogerman, we talked early on about how we thought they were playing with Anderson. That's the roster we received, but he wasn't in the server
Yeah.
today. It was mostly new faces we've seen some of before, but they're not as seasoned as that older guard of the Slimy Boogerman. So despite it being a lot of new people, a roster that's been kind of formed a bit more recently, I think they still had a really good showing. And I think the team play working together there, it wasn't just one player popping off. It was really great synergy. I especially loved how they used Sky there to set themselves up for success. And as soon as they got to that defensive half, they just kind of ran away with it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And on the defensive half, it was Reality locking things
Hmm.
down, 22-11-1. Fantastic scoreline coming through, average combat score of 248, but simply that does not tell the full story. And it was really a tale of 2 halves for Slimy Boogerman. They struggled to find a solid footing to build upon in the attacking half, but that is something we really kind of expected looking at the agent composition. Reality certainly thrived in that second half on the attacking side. But I have to say, for me personally, the key for Slimy Boogerman in this match was Welshie on the Sky.
Hmm.
Those flashes were so pivotal to every single one of Slimy Boogerman's plays, not when they were just pushing forward on attack, but when they were looking to retake on defense as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, and I think it was the flashes for both sides. It was Welshie who had that great showing on the Sky, and for the other side, it was Colbs on the breach. We saw so many positions where he clutched it out in those 2 rounds where it just came down to a 1v1 that he couldn't quite pull through. He was the impact player there. So I loved what we saw from both teams, but to take the first match of the groups, it will, of course, be Boogerman.
Absolutely. Will be the Slimy Boogerman. That is the power of mucus, if you will. And so we have had an exciting game to get us started, but it is just starting. We are moving into our second game of the group stage. We're going to take just a quick few minute break and we'll be right back with another game. Stick around. You definitely don't want to miss it.